what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. You and me, we got something special, baby. You and me, you and me. I can think this was never meant to happen. You and me, you and me. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Natural. Yep.
Hello, roller derby fans. There we go. And we're going to bring that down a smidge. Hello, ladies and gentle thems, even. Fantastic to see us back at some most excellent roller derby times here at Statewide Stampede Round 1. Partying down in the wreck, hosted by the wonderful Chiko Rollers, Dragon City. Give them a big cheer, folks. And they are up today as the home team up against the Witches of East Vic. Give them a big cheer, folks, as well, please. All right, my name is Hypodermic. I use they, them pronouns just to be maximum threatening. And today we're going to see some absolutely amazing roller derby from these two teams. It has been really awesome over the last year to see both of these teams improving out of sight. New skaters for both of them. And now we are just waiting for that opening whistle. There it is. Right on cue. And just a quick shout out to everybody on the live stream playing along at home. Fantastic to have such excellent equipment supplied by General Payne here for video and audio. And we are underway. It looks like we've got Goose Lightning on for the Chicos, pushing through very fast. And almost out the front and around, it is the Rumor out for lead for Witches of East Vic. Not far behind, though, comes Goose, about half a track as they come around to turn 2. Oh, and a quick call by the Rumor to grab those points before Goose can come through and grab anything. Despite their best backwards efforts. Quick little first jam there, 2 points to the Witches. Lining up now for the Chicos is Kilbo Baggins, the most metal of the Tolkien characters. Alongside them in the purple is Strawberry Shortskate. Both of these jammers known for being very strong and very fast. And disappointing us not at all goes Kilbo Baggins through to the lead. Strawberry Shortskate still moving their way through the pack as it stretches out across both turns. Kilbo putting some big pushes in there. An incredible defense from Witches of East Vic. As they are through from a scoring pass. Strawberry Shortskate still working their way through. A really determined Dragon City defense. Here we are, around to turn 3 now. The pack is stretching out again. A bit of a run back on Strawberry. As Kilbo comes around for their next pass. And it is a sneaky little star pass there. Now it's Billy Goat Rough. One of the best parts of roller derby is the highly intimidating names, usually involving some sort of pun. As the Witches are still trying to work their way through a really determined Chico's defense. Ooh, that is a nasty fall right on the buttocks. I think I felt that through the floor, and the floor is concrete. called by Kilbo Baggins for the Chiko Rollers. That is an excellent jam from them. 13 points. Beautifully done. And we are off for a timeout, apparently, an official timeout. We are almost off. And then suddenly not. Look, they like to keep us guessing. You never quite know what's going to happen next in Derby, and that's part of the fun. We want to see some really good flexing from the officials there. Big shout out to the officials, by the way, the on skates and off skates officials keeping this whole thing rolling. Team Zebra still undefeated. And that is the whistle to bring us back in. Rolling away. Okay, lining up for the Chicos, we have somebody whose name I cannot see. That's fine. There are jammers. I can't see who they are. I should have gone to Specsavers. And they're off. Big pushes from both jammers, trying to squeeze through, but it is Witches of Eastvik out the front, grabbing the lead. It is Oopsie Ruckus. Fantastic name. Oopsie moving around for their scoring pass. As I believe it's 4-4-4. Trying to work their way through the pack. Really intense defense from Witches, but not quite enough. Damage Patch Doll. There we go. How could I forget their name? Big chase down from Nix Vicious. Couldn't quite slow them down enough. And called off by Whoopsie. Still a fantastic name. And that is a quick little jam in favor of the Witches. We are now 17 points to 6 in favor of Chicos as we come around for Jam 4. And we're off. Both jammers once again, big pushing through. These are two very strong teams now. Oh, and a spinny little bit of action in turn 1. Lead to the Chicos as Strawberry Short Skate is pushing through the Chicos defense. Quick little star pass as the pack stretches out across the entirety of the back straight there. Meanwhile, Sass coming through for their scoring pass, sneaking through quite a few defenders and a little bit of confusion there. Meanwhile, Chico's defense making the Witches pivot work very, very hard. We've done a full lap of the track now. Pack is moving fast. And Witches are through. Never-ending Rory looking like they're a bit done with this, really. Very fair. That was a very, very tough defense to try and get through. Great jam from the Chicos there. 12 points. Putting them 29, Witches at 6. Lining up now, we've got Goose Lightning for the Chicos and the Rumor for the Witches. Goose Lightning through for the lead, making those jam refs work hard. Meanwhile, the Rumor having to push real hard against KO out the front there. KDKO, well known for their chase down and frontal block out the front. Cannot recommend it. And it's a call off from Goose Lightning before the Rumor can get any points. 4 points to the Chiko Rollers, putting them to 33. That's a 27-point margin. They've worked on pretty quick. But it is, of course, very, very early on in this game. And 27 points is nothing at all. 2 jams worth of points at most. Five-second call, and we're off. Bilbo Baggins smacking their way through for lead jammer status with their usual highly intimidating face makeup there. I don't know what's going on with their eyes, but they should probably get that checked. Meanwhile, Oopsie Ruckus for Witches Eachvik is through. And before they can hit the back of the pack, Bilbo has called things. Clever defensive play. And a shout out to Muggles here walking past me, telling me to stop. Muggles is our marvelous tournament head, making sure all of this runs. And we are off again. Jam 7. That has gone very quickly. The Rumor is through for the lead. Followed about half a track behind by Damage Patch Doll. More than enough time for the Rumor to get plenty of points out of the blockers. I say plenty, they got 1. But the main thing is they made sure that Dragon City got none. Okay. And we're into Jam 8. Sasson is out the front. Number 39 zooming around to turn 4. The pack hasn't moved very far yet. As Strawberry Shortskate still working their way through, getting recycled. Dragon City losing a blocker to a direction penalty. Very tricky. As the pack stretches out, some great bridging going on from both teams there, making sure that everybody stays in play. Now it's Calamity June's turn out the front to do some incredible frontal blocking. Never-ending Rory and Shortskate trying for a bit of a steam train approach. Managing to push the Chico's defense way back, but not quite sneaking through. Sasson still working their way through the pack at the back there. Witches of Eastvic doing an excellent job of waterfalling their way forward. And called. So it looks like we got a 3-point jam for the Chiko Rollers there. And 0 points for the Witches. That puts Chiko Rollers to 39, Witches to 7. Looks like we've got a timeout for the Witches. Yes. Which means it's an excellent time just to talk a little bit about what's changed about the officiating here. So the Women's Flat Track Roller Derby Association, who handle the rules for what we do, have said that instead of using team colours, we're going to use team names. And this is to combat racism, which has actually been a bit of an issue in some of the US clubs and teams. Folks being called by their skin colour rather than their team colour. And while that's might be an unintentional mistake, we'd just like to make sure that we are keeping it anti-racist as possible. We are not here for any of the isms. Roller derby is an inclusive sport and always has been. That's the long and the short of the team timeout as we line back up for what should be Jam 9 of period 1. We've got Goose Lightning on one side and Oopsie on the other. Chiko Rollers unfortunately down a blocker. Doesn't slow them down any as Goose Lightning gets out the front, but just behind them is Oopsie Ruckus. Both defensive teams trying to work out what to do next as they work their way around. Messy, messy packs as everybody is everywhere. We've made it all the way around to turn 4. A little bit of jammer on jammer action. That's our favorite kind of thing. Brief but cool. And from Goose Lightning, it is the classic jammer action of fall and call. We know it, we love it. If you're on the ground, it's time to start tapping those hips. The Witch is sneaking away with 6 points from that one. It's always nice when you can sneak away with more points despite the other team getting lead. 4 points for the Chicos, and that puts our total score at 43-13 as the Jam 10 whistle comes in. Kilbo Baggins for the Chiko Rollers. Tries to sneak down the inside, can't quite make it. Meanwhile, the Rumour is down the back with a very, once again, determined defense. Kilbo Baggins through for the lead. The Rumour pushing hard as Kilbo comes around to the back of the pack. Both teams now back to full 4 blockers each. Witches of Eastvic managing to sneak a 1 point in there. Clever stuff. 4 points to the Chiko Rollers, just extending their lead slightly. I believe it's a 33-point margin, but I would not be trusting my maths at this hour of the afternoon. Hawkeye has confirmed. There we go. Confirmed from both sides of me. 33 points in it as Damage Patch Doll pushes their way through to the front of the pack. Meanwhile, Strawberry Short Skate having a good push there against some really organized defenses from both of these teams. Damage Patch Doll sneaking down the inside of turn 1, finding a gap where there shouldn't have been one. Meanwhile, Strawberry Short Skate almost makes it out and manages to tank a hit from KDKO. And if you can do that, let me tell you, you are doing well. Call off from Damage Patch Doll. sneaking away with those 4 points. No points for the Witches. 51-14 now. No, I'm not going to do the maths on that. Don't get paid enough. Okay, lining up. Jam 12. Here we go. Sasson sneaks around the outside. Once again, gap that should not have been there. Oopsie is still pushing through a very determined defense. Part of that defense, quick shout out to Inner Pickle, returning after an injury, after 2 years off the track. Fantastic to have Inner Pickle back with us. I do remember going through Learn to Skate with Inner Pickle, which is just showing how long I've been mucking around in this sport for. Oh no. A good bit of offense from Never Ending Rory, but unfortunately ending up blocking their own jammer. It's a risk. The pack stretching right out as they recycle Oopsie. Sassy coming around for another scoring pass. Big offense attempted by Solid Rage there, but shut down by 24. Fantastic counter hitting. As Sasson comes through for another scoring pass. Whoopsie Ruckus finds a gap, but Solid Rage is right there. Ends up running into Billy Goat Ruff, who is holding them from the recycle. And those of you on the live stream at home, but also those of you here, you can hear the scrape of these wheels on the concrete. This is, I can confirm, a very interesting surface to skate on. Most skating tends to happen on something like a basketball court. It has a lot more slip and slide. I believe so too. There's a big call from Never Ending Rory there, getting their team to come up, making sure they're maintaining pack. Quick official timeout. Possibly not a quick official timeout, Jen is telling me. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly grab some paperwork so I can start calling out some skaters and some officials. Oh, apparently there's a fancy button on this machine. Let's find out. Chiko Rollers roster. Oh, look at that. Wow. Unfortunately, everybody here who is here live cannot see, but I've got a fancy roster popping up on the screen. It's super fancy and super technological, which is a word now. So for the Chiko Rollers, we've got 10 KDKO, 112 Goose Lightning, 16 Solid Rage, 4 Sharp Cheddar, 5 Calamity, 8 Hellion, 86 Razorback, 99 is Inner Pickle, 11 or 11 is Nick's Vicious, 14 is Kilbo Baggins, 39 Sasson, 444 Damage Patch Doll, 77 is Crackerjack, 82 is Sparks of Riot, and 9 is Sticks and Stones. So an excellent full lineup there for GCID. Great to see them here. And we're still sitting in an official timeout. So why don't we throw the Witches roster up? Once again, it's up here on the shiny screen, and it even is in purple. For the Witches, their lineup is 09, Nat 09 Tails. That's with a 9 in the name, of course. So you've 09. Anyway, it's puns all the way down. That's what Derby's all about. 1-0 is Never Ending Rory. 2-3, Nicholas Rage. 2-4 is Slamboint. Excellent, excellent name there. Keeping it queer. 3 is Billy Goat Rough. 3-3 is Tenacious V. 3-7 is Winona Fighter. 4 is Strawberry Shortsgate. 5 is The Rumor. 6-6 is April O'Wheel. You might spot them out there with their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles helmet. Quite distinctive. 8 is Honeybee. And 934 is Titosaurus. I love some of these names. It's fantastic. And it looks like we may have sorted the scoreboard. It wouldn't be roller derby without some sort of scoreboard mishap. It's a very important part of the sport. Ah. Unfortunately, a jam not added. And that's how these things happen. It's part of the fun. There's that rolling whistle from Smaxabon. 5-second call. Okay, we've got Goose Lightning. Lining up alongside the Rumor. Chiko's one blocker down. Ooh, it's a tight one. It looks like it's lead to the Chikos. Ooh. KDKO trying to move through the pack to recycle the Rumor. Getting quickly shut down by a clever East Vic defense as Goose Lightning moves through the pack again. Up, down, flying around. Strawberry Shortskate going for the outside line there, gets hit. KO looking for a cut track penalty. And gets it. That is the Rumor to the penalty box. Power jam moment for Goose Lightning and the Chikos. As the team has done a full lap, reforms on the straight. Witches of East Vic with a full defensive lineup, but very difficult to do any defense when Solid Rage is coming through and mucking everything up with their offense. Dragon City also managing to snag a goat, which is a blocker that they've managed to hold, which means they can control the pack. Super important part of this game is pack control. Goose Lightning through for another scoring pass. And the Rumor also through for a scoring pass, despite a big hit from Solid Rage. Goose Lightning calling as Natto Ninetails does a quick little butt backwards just to make sure you save your points. For those playing along at home, the jammer only gets the point from a blocker once their hips pass hips. So if you can keep your hips forward of the jammer, then your point is still safe. Not a bad plan when you know the jammer's going to call very soon anyway. Kilbo Baggins up against Strawberry Shortcake now. And we are off. Jam 14. 10 minutes to go in this period. And here we are stuck on, we haven't even left the pivot and jam lines. Kilbo Baggins doing some spinny work to snag their way through. Meanwhile, Strawberry Shortskate sneaks out the front as well. Slowed down a bit by Calamity June, but not enough. Quick call off by Kilbo Baggins to make sure that East Vic do not get any points. And a penalty there. Meaning that, unfortunately for East Vic, they will start one blocker down for Jam 15. There's that whistle again. Damage Patch Doll. Up against Oopsie. The pack immediately stretching right out as Damage Patch pushes Like a freight train. There's lead as the front two skaters go out of play. Meanwhile, Oopsie trying to get ahead of things. Hellion tries to get a leg in front, can't quite do it. Some jammer on jammer action. There we go. That's what we're all here for. And the pack now moving fast as all the blockers try to protect their points. The jammers perhaps are forgetting that once the whistle blows, you do have to stop. 4 points to the Chiko Rollers there. Just one scoring pass for Damage Patch, but managing to keep the Witches to 0. 84-18 now, the scoreline. Lining up for the Chikos, we've got Sasson. And for Witches of Eastvic, we have Strawberry Short Skate. Sasson going for the outside line, but shut down. Strawberry Short Skate also recycled. Speaking as somebody who has jammed a bit, that is the most depressing thing that happen. Somebody knocks you out and you've got to come in behind them. Dragon City Defense doing an excellent waterfall out the front. Reforming and reforming. Both teams here are doing some fantastic defensive play. Really, really good to see against some very talented jamming. Big hit from Solid Rage there. I think Solid Rage does one kind of hit and it's a big hit. It's a little push through from Never Ending Rory. Sneaks Strawberry Short Skate through for lead. Never Ending Rory and Sasson getting very, very friendly there. Hands all over each other, but we are not allowed to use our hands. And that means it's a power jam and lead situation for the Witches of Eastvic. Bit of a chance for them to pull some points back. Knickerbocker in the Eastvic box there, just telling everybody to be calm. It's all about being chill. Short skate through for another scoring pass for the Eastvic. Meanwhile, all blockers trying to protect their points. As the pack moves around again, and I think we're on lap 2 now. And Eastvic managed to snag one more point. Unfortunately, 0 more for the Chikos, called off with the perfect timing. And that puts us to 84-26. So that's a very decent jam from the Eastvic. Fantastic to see. And we've got an official review. These are my favorite. Always exciting. So what I might do is do a quick sneak across. I don't have an offsider, but I don't know. Maureen is all over it. Thank you, Maureen. Big shout out to Maureen, very experienced ref. An official review used as a timeout. That got everybody excited. Unfortunately, not quite excited enough. So now we get to chill out for a couple of minutes while we wait for that official review to go through as a timeout, which is a perfectly legal thing to do, by the way, if you are getting to this point in the... It is a very strategic move. We love a good strategic move. 5 minutes left in period 1 of this game. This is game 3. If you're just tuning in, Chiko Rollers up against the Witches. Chiko Rollers from Dragon City, that's in Bendigo. The Witches being the Witches of Eastvic. And I think you can guess where they're from. Maureen and I both looking rather disappointed. We're looking for juicy exciting official review action, but no, denied. Come on, Library Fine, give us an official review. Okay, we are lining back up again. It looks like it's Goose Lightning up against the Rumor. I do love a good, subtly terrifying roller derby name, and the Rumor definitely suits. And we are off. Here we are, Jam 17. The Rumor sneaking through for the lead. Goose Lightning going all the way around the outside, finding lines that I didn't even know were there. That's incredible. The Rumor through for a scoring pass, trying to fix their gear at the same time. Very talented skating from everyone involved here. As the pack moves forward, trying to shift up. Once again, all the blockers trying to save their points. Hellion out the front, trying to slow the Rumor down. Quite the challenging thing, as they are very quick on their edges. Witches of Eastvic taking full advantage of this one, making sure they can sneak through for everything. Meanwhile, Goose Lightning comes through for another scoring pass for the Chiko Rollers. And that's a call off from the Rumor from the inside there. A bit of a classic fallen call. A very gentle one. Unfortunately, my deep voice apparently makes this echo very nicely. Very fair. Oh, we've got an official review. Is it a real one this time? Or are they just getting our hopes up again? Come on, Knickerbocker, don't do this to us. It looks like it's for realsies. Fantastic. Just want to give a quick shout out to our refs while I'm looking at them all. We've got Grub, Corey, Killer Curls, Zarantula, Disaster Chief, Brush, Bearamy, and Candy Striper. Candy Striper is also known as Candy Bunts in their derby skating format. But if you're going to have one derby name, you may as well have two and make sure that you've got one for reffing and one for skating. So if those of you who don't know what an official review is, an official review is when one of the teams says, hey, I didn't like that call you made, refs, and I would like you to have a bit of a squiz it again. So Knickerbocker and Winona Fighter there have come up and told the story as they've seen it. Now the refs get to come back and have a bit of a chat about what they saw. As folks on the live feed can probably see, we've got some excellent zooming in action from Jen here. There are some opinions. Looks like an intense discussion. Now, each team gets one official review per period, but if their official review, if what they want is upheld, then they get to take that official review and keep it. However, if the refs turn around and say no, they have lost that official review and they may not throw another one at the refs for that period. So you really have to use these things strategically, be really sure that what you saw was what you saw and that the refs will agree with you. And this one is looking quite complex. There's a lot of nods and a lot of serious looks. And you know when the refs are serious, things have gotten real serious. Now, I've called out the refs. What I don't have is a list of the NSOs. So refs are the ones on skates in stripes. NSOs are the ones in black. Maureen is going to give me the hot goss. Okay, word on the street from Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. Is that the Witches of Eastwick were requesting a high block call against their jammer. But unfortunately, the refs felt that it was Eastwick who initiated that one. So the no call stands. Eastwick lose their official review. You can see one of the dots has disappeared from the scoreboard. And that is the rolling whistle, means that we're going to get back into some derby again now that we've finished nerding out about the rules. Kilbo Baggins for Chiko Rollers coming up against Oopsie for Eastwick. Good thumbs up from Kilbo there. Doesn't mean they lose their focus even slightly. Oh no, running into their own blocker there. Bit of a tumble. Everybody okay, and that is the main thing. Meanwhile, Oopsie trying to push through the Chiko defense. Yeah, friendly fire is a very important part of this game. Kilbo Baggins not slowed down at all, although they do have a nice dusty patch on their butt. Oopsie almost making it around the outside there, as Kilbo Baggins does a little leap on the inside. We do love a little bit of fast jammer action. The pack has moved their way around to turn 3. Kilbo Baggins again coming around, doing some neat spinny stuff on the outside. That's a skate outside the track though, and you've got to stay on the track. Oopsie still working their way through a very solid Dragon City defense. Once again, have come up against that defense before. It is not fun. It is half as fun as it looks, I can tell you that much, and it doesn't look very fun at all. Oopsie has made it through looking suitably exhausted. Crush the jam ref, giving the big birdie wave arms there, saying they've made their initial pass. Called off by Kilbo Baggins before which Eastwick could snag any points. That's a 16-point jam for Dragon City. And that means they have broken the ton. 108 points to Chiko Rollers, 41 points to Witches of Eastwick. And we are off. This is jam 19 now. 1 minute left in this period. This may be our last jam for this one. Damage Patch Doll sneaks around the outside and then pushes. Meanwhile, the Rumor sneaking out to the front. Slowed down a bit by KTKO, who ends up out of play. Called by Damage Patch Doll. Snagging just one sneaky point. But it does mean that Witches of Eastwick get precisely 0. It is better to have 0 points than for the opposing team to have more points. You're always looking to try and either stay even or ahead. Lucky last jam by the looks of this one. For this period, unless it is the quickest jam in history. Sasson making it out the front of the pack, but unfortunately greeted by a cut track call. That means it's a power jam for the Witches. And I can tell you they will waste absolutely no time in taking full advantage of this. Strawberry short skate pushing hard against a very determined I know I keep saying it's very determined, but it is very determined. A very solid defense. East Vic trying for a little moment there just to stretch the pack out, see if they can get a no pack call. But Strawberry Short Skate coming up against 4 blockers is very hard work. The pack stretching forward now. Strawberry still trying to push past. As Sasson returns to the track. Lead is still open. Both jammers still on their initial. However, because Sasson has done a sports crime and has gone to the box, they now cannot get lead. Nevertheless, they are round for their initial pass. And now it is a full 2-minute jam. Strawberry Short Skate removing their helmet cover, which means they cannot get lead either. Sometimes a very good tactical decision to do that. Sasson duking their way through the East Vic defences as Strawberry Short Skate works hard, trying to get past, but excellent efforts from both defense and offense and jammers there. Fantastic work. And that was the final jam of period 1, unless something miraculous happens, which puts the Chiko Rollers on 116, the Witches on 41. We are just waiting for confirmation of those scores and a good rolling whistle to say, hey, we're going to take a break.
Far away.
what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. You and me, we got something special, baby. You and me, you and me. I can think this was never meant to happen. You and me, you and me. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't help it, baby. I can't help it. I can't help it, baby. Tell me what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. You and me, we got something special, baby. You and me, you and me. I can think this was never meant to happen. You and me, you and me. I can't help it. I can't help it, baby. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Okay, ladies and gentle thems and everything in between. Here we are back at roller derby for period 2. Heck yes. Alrighty, we've got Goose Lightning, Strawberry Short Skate pushing their way through. Goose Lightning out for the lead for the first jam of period 2. Here we are pushing around to turn 2 now. They're trying hard to keep the pack from moving too much. Strawberry Short Skate getting some momentum up, squeezing and pushing their way through like a little freight train. Fantastic. Goose hits the back of the pack in a big way. Billy Goat Rough managing to muck up their trajectory. And that means that the Chiko Rollers have snagged 7 points for that jam, puts them on 123, which is, unfortunately, it is called before they can snag any points, so still on 41. Okay, we've got some jammer on jammer love. We know it, we love it. One of the things I really love about Statewide is that it is such a friendly league. People are here to have fun. Kilbo Baggins pushing their way through, just snagging lead ahead of Oopsie Ruckus as the pack goes wild. Here they go. Those OPRs on the outside having to move very, very fast. Come on, folks, you can keep up. Go, 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 go. The jammers are having trouble keeping up now. I don't know about the rest of the audience, but I got a nice little bit of air conditioning from that pack. They can keep moving at that speed anytime they like. That was gorgeous. Witches of Eastvic with 0 points. Chiko Rollers snagging 1 point for all of that work. 1 point. We've got Damage Patch Doll as the 5 seconds call goes. Up against Strawberry Short Skate as they squeeze through in the... Oh, and a sneaky bit of action from KDKO there. Managing to zip back and grab a cut track penalty from Strawberry Short Skate. Unfortunately, you have to enter behind any skater, opposing skater that was involved in the action that put you out, which means a sneaky little bit there can definitely manage to snag a penalty, and KDKO is very, very good at that. Billy Goat Rough stuck at the back of the pack there as a goat, managing to change Damage Patch's trajectory all the same. And a quick call from Damage Patch. A fallen call. We know it, we love it. Quick shout out to Zarantula, our head ref for today, for this game. Doing some amazing work, cleaning up the track, and just while we wait for this, there's the whistle for where I'll go time. Anyway, Zarantula, this is 10 years. They have been reffing for 11 years, but it has been 10 years of reffing outside their club. And we are extremely lucky to have such an experienced ref crew doing their thing here. Goose Lightning sneaking around the outside just despite a really spirited defense from Eastvic. Meanwhile, the Rumor has managed to sneak through on the inside. The pack is once again moving very fast. That is one thing that I always remember from learning to skate with In a Pickle is you can always tell where they are on the track. There is a good bit of squealing going on. Once again, for all of that work and all of that scooting around, 0 points each. When you see the pack moving, you know it is designed to try and shut down points, and it is often very effective for both teams. The 5-second call. Both teams with full sets of blockers. It's not going to be a fun time for the Jammers. Sasson coming through for the Chiko Rollers as Oopsie comes through for Witches of Eastvik. Oopsie sneaking through, has managed to snag lead. Definitely something that the Witches would be very, very happy to have. Meanwhile, Sasson out the front of the pack, trying hard to reform. Getting some big hits. Billy Goat Ruff saying, no, you're not taking the outside line this time. Does a recycle. And I don't know whether you can see that in the audience, but just a little nod there from Billy Goat Ruff to Sasson just to say, hey, you all good? That was a big hit. And that is what I love about roller derby. There's none of that smacking somebody down and laughing at them. It's very much, hey, we're all here to have fun and nobody wants to get injured. Meanwhile, Eastvik coming around for another scoring pass. Sasson having fought their way through for their initial. Crush once again doing some beautiful wingerlings, saying it's the initial. Oopsie ruckus. Managing to snag 3 points from that particular pass. Must have snuck past somebody while unblockable. Complicated little part of the rules. Whoa! Almost sneaking around the outside. It is a classic fall and call. Yeah. And it's a thumbs up from the floor, making sure that everybody knows they're okay. 2 points, making it a 10-point jam to the Witches, kicking them over 51. Chiko Rollers sneak 4 points in there, 135. There's the 5-second call and the starting whistle. Strawberry Shortcake having a little sneak around the outside, not quite making it. Meanwhile, on the inside, Kilbo Baggins goes for a run and is away. Sorry, it is not Strawberry Shortskate, it is the rumor. What am I talking about? Whoa, there we go. Calamity June trying to make sure that Shortskate went out on the outside, but couldn't quite make it happen. Shortskate up on one wheel, sneaking along that line. Meanwhile, Kilbo Baggins calls it off. Good defensive call. 4 points to the Chiko Rollers, 0 points to the Witches as the Chikos extend their lead gently. Now, in case you haven't noticed, roller derby is quite queer. I know that may have come as a shock to many skaters here. It's also quite neurodivergent. Who knew? And I'll talk about it, more about that in a second. Damage Patch Doll sneaks around the outside, doing some very wiggly offense around there. Strawberry Shortskate moving hard and fast, pushing DCRD around to turn 2, sneaking along that inside line. They've got it. Whoa! Meanwhile, Damage Patch Doll around the outside line, looking for something from their bench to say, hey, do I call, do I call? Rick saying, bring it in, bring it in. Anyway, the reason that I say that roller derby is so queer, one, it was a femme-dominated sport started by femmes for femmes and has grown to include all marginalized genders, which is fantastic. But also, it means that I can call out the Bendigo Pride Festival, which is coming up next week. Runs from the 14th to the 19th of April. Meanwhile, the rumour sneaks through, has managed to snag lead for the Witches of Eastvik. Goose Lightning Getting slowed down by a very determined East Vic defense. Every time they get past one blocker, there's another one waiting. A big hit out from Calamity June. Unfortunately, not quite enough to slow down the rumor. Who goes through for another scoring pass? Goose Lightning hitting the back of the pack. Getting knocked out again. As once again, both jammers up against some very strong tripods. Goose Lightning trying to take the pack from side to side to side. Almost making it out. But a quick little hit from Nano Ninetails hits them to the inside. Big push from out the front there from the rumor as the pack bridges out. You can see it really stretching around two corners there now. And called by the rumor, having gotten their 4 points. Fantastic play from both teams there. It's really, really good to see. Some really clean and clever play. Chiko Rollers sitting on 147, snagging 4 points from that last jam. The Witches sitting on 59. As Knickerbocker calls a team timeout for the Witches, which means I can talk more about queer stuff. Oh no, how awful. Anyway, Bendigo Pride Festival coming up next week, of all things, through from the 14th to the 19th of April. There's going to be a heck of a lot of stuff on. I was handed a postcard, which has some fantastic photos on it for a start, and I offered to go through the website. And they said, well, you could, but you'd be there for a very long time. There are so many things on. The main things that they want to call out is there is the Big Girls Bar, which, despite the name, is very gender inclusive. That is Friday the 17th from 8 p.m. $25 entry. And I can tell you, having been to Bendigo Pride Festival a couple of times, it is a heck of a lot of fun. Whether you're queer or not, I reckon come along anyway. It is a very friendly, very chill, very accepting place. You can turn up as you are, whoever you are. On Saturday the 16th, that doesn't quite make math to me. If it's Friday the 17th and Saturday the 16th, let me just check the math on that one. There we go. Saturday the 18th, that's better. You cannot possibly go past a bit of doggy drag, which will be absolutely hilarious. Dogs in costumes. I mean, dogs anyway, but dogs in costumes doubly good. And apparently, if you bring your dog along and it wins the best Priscilla drag, you get a double pass to see Priscilla as put on by Bendigo Theatre Company. In the meantime, we're out of timeout. We are now with Sasson trying to get through for the Chicos. Squeezing around down that inside line, but just sneaking over the line is Strawberry Short Skate. Bit of a shout out to Chico's 86, Razorback, just making mayhem in the Witches tripod there. One of the most fun roles you can play in roller derby is just a bit of offense. You just get to muck things up. The opposing team has all of these wonderful plans and you get to come through and ruin them. We are all the way around to the back straight now. Still no lead jammer. Sasson getting recycled all the way to the back with a big grin on their face. It can be a bit of a heartbreaking process. In the meantime, Strawberry out the front, pushing, and through. However, they have taken off the star, which means they are ineligible for lead. Through they go for their initial pass. It's a star pass from the Chiko Rollers. Hugely experienced skater, KDKO, has been around and seen a lot of things and skated a lot of tracks. He is now coming through as a jammer. Does an excellent little sneak to the inside line, takes advantage of one of the East Vic blockers going out as well, which means they can sneak past them. Strawberry Shortskate moving through for a scoring pass. Big grins on everybody's faces. That was a full 2-minute jam. And at the end of all that ruckus, 4 points apiece. The scores, the differential is unchanged. And that, my friends, is what Derby is all about, apparently. Working really hard, sweating a lot, and finding out you're in exactly the same spot starting again. Here we are again. We are up to jam 10 of period 2. Kilbo Baggins pushing through to the front. Big hit there as Tenacious V tries to slow things down. In the meantime, I believe that's April O'Wheel having a jam, looking very excited as they come around for their initial. Fantastic to see. Called by Kilbo Baggins on the outside after a delightful little bit of spinning. I swear some of these people are dance skaters in their other lives. And now as we come into jam 11, 15 minutes to go. We're halfway through period 2. Some really, really great derby to be seen here. I'm genuinely enjoying this. I'm not sure what Hellion just lost, but apparently it belongs to Corey now. Damage Patch Doll coming through, tries for the outside, gets knocked out. Recycled. In the meantime, Ruckus having a good push at the back of the pack. Damage Patch Doll through for the lead as the pack shifts up towards turn 1. Unfortunately, that is a cut track penalty to the Chiko's Dammer. And that means it is the full 2-minute jam again. And you get to watch them sweat. In the meantime, here is Oopsie Ruckus pushing through. Almost out the front. Unfortunately, you've still got KDKO and Hellion to get past. Both of them fantastic blockers in their own right. Oopsie Ruckus through for their initial pass. Good to see Witches of East Vic being able to take advantage of their power jam for 30 seconds there to be able to get their jammer through. Can't score until you've done that initial pass. In the meantime, Damage Patch Doll wasting absolutely no time. Sneaking through the pack. Oopsie Ruckus taking advantage of some excellent offense there to sneak through and stretch the DCRD pack right out. Has now run into Sparks of Riot out the front. And a bit of congratulations to both of them, from both of them. Really well played from everybody involved there. That's some fantastic stuff. Okay, here we are through for jam 12. It looks like we've got Goose Lightning up against the Rumor. Rumor coming through, sneaks through for the lead on that inside line. In the meantime, Goose Lightning pushing through, trying to make chaos, makes a little jump there and finds a gap where there shouldn't be a gap. Calamity June looking for the chase down, not quite fast enough to catch the Rumor. It was just a fun thing to say. The Rumor does work and move very fast. April O'Wheel going down. Unfortunately, with a forearms penalty, it has to go to the box for the sports crime time. Both jammers through for scoring passes now. As the rumor sneaks around some of their own skaters through the opposing skaters, almost like they're not there. Fantastic juking. The pack has done one full lap. Goose Lightning almost making it around that outside, but is given a little nudge by Nano Nine Tails, which is enough, unfortunately, to get them to sneak onto the outside. And I believe it is a power jam to the rumor, who has decided to start things as a power jam for the next jammer. The Witches starting to pull something out of the bag here with 10 minutes to go. It would be one heck of a comeback, but it wouldn't be the first time. And I say this particularly as a Carlton Football Club fan. I know exactly how far ahead you can be and still lose a match. And we're off. This is Jam 13. Strawberry Short Skate gets a power jam start as Goose Lightning is in the box for sports crime time. Strawberry wasting no time whatsoever gets through with the full offense capability of their team. As we come around to turn 2 and the back straight, Strawberry Short Skate just being a bit of a pinball in there as everybody's bouncing off blocker or blocker, but then just finds a gap, which is how it's done. Goose Lightning has now returned to the track, hitting the back of the pack. Very strong tripod from East Vic. Razorback again coming through and offering some strong offense. Just messing things up enough so that Goose Lightning can do their magic. Strawberry Short Skate, in the meantime, sneaking through for another scoring pass. Goose Lightning almost so close to the front. Slowed down by April O'Wheel, but not able to quite stop them. Strawberry Short Skate hit to the outside, told by their bench to call it. They sneak an extra 2 points. 10-point jam to the Witches. They are clawing this back. Fantastic to see some really competitive roller derby out there. Big shout out to Rick Mortis there, Dragon City bench in the middle. Hugely experienced roller derby person. They've snuck all the way out there just to say, hey, I'd like a timeout, just as the 25 seconds comes around. So that's a team timeout to the Chiko Rollers. Gives us a bit of a chance to talk more about the queer stuff. Oh no, how terrible. I have been handed more postcards. I've got 2 postcards now. I told you there was a lot of stuff on at the Pride Festival. It is all about me, and that's why they've given me a microphone. Rookie mistake. Big Girls Bar on the Friday the 17th from 8 p.m. That one is for theys, thems, and the fems. But if you're either identify as or a bit more into folks of the mask variety, for the men, as it were, running simultaneously is the meetup, spelled exactly as you would suspect. Because if there's anybody who loves a good pun, it's the queers, and I am here for that. On the 19th at Bendigo Cinema, there is a special showing of Pillion, which is a gorgeous queer movie about motorcycling, which is another one of my favorite things. In the meantime, here we are back in Derbyland. Five-second call, and Opening whistle. Here we are. Period 2, Jam 14. 8 minutes to go in this game. Kilbo Baggins sneaking out the front, wasting absolutely no time. Honeybee up as a jammer. Fantastic to see. I think that's who I've been calling Oopsie Ruckus all this time. I thought they were Honeybee as well, but it says Oopsie Ruckus on their jersey. What am I supposed to do? Oh, Kilbo going for the outside there. Never-ending Rory making sure that they have to work for it. Honeybee still working their way through the pack, pushing hard. And a bit of a tumble there as Kilbo hits the back of the pack. I don't know whether that was their own team, the opposing team, a bit of both. Just a lot of tumbles. Very, very natural to start seeing some falls and tumbling towards the end of a game. The skaters are really giving their all out there, making sure that they are leaving it all on the track. Called off by Kilbo Baggins before Honeybee or Oopsie Ruckus. I don't know what to call you at this time. You can be both. It is Honeybee. I know it's Honeybee. I should know it's Honeybee. But quickly before Honeybee can get any points, 7-point jam to the Chiko Rollers and a nice, tidy little defensive call off. 176 points to 97. And we are off. We're down to 6.5 minutes now. Jam 15 of period 2. Sasson almost immediately recycled as the Rumour sneaks out the front to grab lead. Strong defense from East Vic, doing a beautiful waterfall. Despite some very strong offense from Dragon City. The Rumour going around for another scoring pass. Sasson still working hard. Big hit from Never-Ending Rory there. Sorry, cat o' nine tails. And it's a star pass from Chiko Rollers trying to get their star through so they can start scoring some points. Hellion going for the inside line and snags it. Almost tripping over the wheels of April O'Wheel, which would have been kind of poetic. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to use your legs or your wheels to stop another skater, so that is a penalty for April O'Wheel. Called by the Rumour, a classic fall and call. We know it, we love it. Big 16-point jam for the Witches there. And it means that they have also cracked the ton. 113 points to 177. Chiko Rollers just sneaking 1 point in there. Witches of Eastwick really turning up the heat now. Giving DCRD something to sweat about. Damage Patch Doll pushing right out to the front. Slices through the defenses like butter. In the meantime, down the back, Strawberry Short Skate has been squished and shut down by the DCRD defense. Both jammers looking for a way through. Both jammers just running into blocker after blocker. Never-Ending Rory going for a big hit there, but just not quite connecting. Damage Patch Doll doing something of a bean dip. And if you've been around Derby for long enough, you will know that pretty much every tactic that has roller derby on it is related to food in some way. So there is a pizza, there is a burrito, there is a bean dip. I don't know, skaters are just hungry, hungry people. In the meantime, it is a power jam. As my good friend Arlo up in Queensland would say, it's a power jam. He's even had t-shirts made. It's his catchphrase. Strawberry Short Skate, making sure that they waste absolutely no time, but almost snuck around the outside. Rage saying, no, thank you. That lane is mine. And so is that one. Rage in their other life. That is Solid Rage. Rage is a power lifter and strong woman. Does some incredible stuff. And you can really see that come through when they hit somebody. That person stays hit. Strawberry Short Skate, stretching the pack out, trying to make it more difficult for them to block, and sneaks through in some of the chaos that creates. Damage Patch Doll also sneaking through. And there is the end of the jam. 8 points to the Chikos, 4 points to the Witches, 185 to 117. And we're getting really close to the pointy end of things now. 2 minutes to go, 2 and a bit. And that means it's time for Honeybee. It's also time for Kilbo Baggins, who has pushed their way through to the... Oh, tries to push their way through the pack. Sneaks around that outside line despite the best efforts of April O'Wheel. And you might have seen Kilbo on the inside there take a big hit, but took it all in their torso. So their wheels stayed quite stable. Very, very clever tactic. Whoa. I guess you can go through backwards on your scoring pass. Why not? Big offense from Nado Ninetails, leading to Sparks of Riot, ending up in a big old sandwich. April Wheel recycling Baggins there with a little, what can you do? Honeybee still fighting their way through the pack. Big hit from KO, trying to make sure that Honeybee knows who's really in charge here. Kilbo around for another scoring pass. Still has that lead jammer status. Can call it off at any time, but Rick on the bench says, keep going, keep going. Easy enough for him to say. Kilbo finds a gap in the defense there. Tricky for the East Vic to form a defensive line when they've only got 2 blockers. They're up to 3 blockers now. But instead, Paddy KO holds the inside line. And through Kilbo goes for another scoring pass. Honeybee now out the front, running into Katie KO again. She's always out the front, always waiting for you. Sure as death and or taxes. Massive 24-point jam from Kilbo Baggins there. 8-point jam from the Witches. Fantastic to see some massively skilled roller derby from everyone involved. Big shout out to our officials for making a game run so smoothly. That's skating and non-skating officials. And thank you to you, our audience, for all of your cheering and general merriment. Obviously, we are skating to entertain you. That is the rolling whistle. That means it is full time. The official scoreline at the end of the day is 209 to the Chiko Rollers, cracking the double ton with a massive final jam. The Witches on 125. Both teams bringing their all today. I've been Hypodermic. Thank you for listening. And stick around because our next game coming up is South Sea Roller Derby's B team versus Geelong Roller Derby, my new home team. I can tell you who I will be very quietly cheering for.